Hey guys, so I think I've uncovered a very creepy example of how public opinion may not really be that big on the side of Min Hee-jin, the creator of New Jeans. And to answer this question, I really do need the help of old school, long time BTS Army to really answer this main question of who gets to speak on behalf of the entire BTS Army. If I took a newspaper ad out saying that the BTS Army believes in this, what gives me the right to do that? And why would even a mainstream publication pick up on that news as if the entire fandom is behind whoever funded it? So if you guys want an example of what I think is part of this organized media hit campaign that Min Hee-jin had prepared against HYBE, one of the examples is essentially planting the story that we just saw about all of the funeral wreaths that were sent by supposedly BTS Army Korea to the headquarters of HYBE for this demonstration saying like, please protect BTS, we support BTS but not HYBE. And then the newspaper advertisement that was presented in mainstream media as if it was separate, but it was funded by the same people. Okay, they put all their receipts on their Twitter account, which was, again, I'm gonna go through the timeline on this. It looks super shady, so I'm just gonna give you the timeline of what happened, and of course, like a little bit my commentary on it. But judge for yourself and see if a real BTS Army would do this, and how it just bled right over to now the bunny trucks in front of HYBE really disparaging them. So if you saw those wreaths, they were funeral wreaths. If you're wondering like, well, you know, what are those strange like tripod looking flowers with some ribbons that kind of look dark? It looks a little bit dark because that's what you send to the funeral hall. So, you know, in America, maybe you send like bouquets of flowers and things like that. In Korea, you send these funeral wreaths. I mean, they're not pretty, but they serve a function. Essentially, it's to show like a little like condolence message, but more importantly, who sent it. So if you're like some big wig, you have like, you know, all along the hallways, like hundreds of these funeral wreaths saying like, you know, which politician sent it, corporation or family member, or like, you know, yes, like real friends and family send it, but it's supposed to be, I think, the way it looks to me, is a flex. It's flexing from the grave. It's like, look at all the people I knew. So in that way, yes, that is a legitimate use of these funeral wreaths to send condolences in a big manner. It's extremely creepy and odd and mean and rude for, like, first of all, to send it to a company and use it in the form of a protest. And so on these funeral wreaths, it would say stuff like, we pray for BTS to get out of HYBE, consider the owner risk, you know, things that are really inflammatory, like HYBE's business management skills declared dead. I mean, you're supposed to write nice little messages on one side of the ribbon, you know, not really bad messages on both. Does this happen? It happens somewhat. It's not like the super popular way of doing a protest, but, you know, on the one hand, in a way, it's efficient because you don't have to have people standing around like picketing, and you just send it there, and immediately it's creepy. So you know I like creep, you know I like a little bit of shade, but I think this was really uncalled for, and I don't think it's in the spirit of actual BTS Army. From, you know, because I'm only like, you know, junior nouveau Army, so I don't really know all of the intricate workings, but I don't think that people have this spirit of being rude and dirty. They're more inspired by the hopeful and love-oriented messages of BTS, and that I think also reflects in BTS Army's behavior. I don't think they cut this low. And also, I know there is older fandom in BTS, definitely. But in terms of like the way that this protest style, it's really like the grandpas and grandmas who don't know about BTS, who protest like politicians or government who would opt in this way. So I'm saying like even the stylistic choice of using these funeral wreaths to do a protest, I don't think that is really what even an older army would do. And so it didn't strike me as real at first. So that's why I wanted to dig in, because it just kind of didn't hit me the right way about like it being authentic, especially with the proof that we had that in May, Min Hee-jin and her minions at Ador would be starting this smear campaign against HYBE. And the way that this was done, it checked the boxes of how it was being manipulative. Now, when you want to make an assault on somebody, and especially the way that it seems like the playbook, came out with, how do you do it like in the manipulative K-drama style that we've already seen in operation from, this side. You do it in a way where you just focus on the objective. So I think the objective here was get national media attention and separate HYBE from BTS. Why? Because when you looked at that press conference from Min Hee-jin, she tried to make sure you could not separate her and New Jeans. She said, New Jeans were my kids. I do everything for their most well-being instead of, this is not about money, although we already know it's about money, and she is not their mother. But if you love New Jeans, and if she can convince you that she's just a mother to them, how could you hate the mother of New Jeans? So the love gets transferred from New Jeans to Min Hee-jin. She wants to make sure she keeps that. But she wants to make sure that Bang Si-hyuk, Chairman Bang, who is the father of BTS, would not be able to have the same transference of support. The people who love BTS, she's trying to really kind of throw questions in their mind and really kind of, like if it's a divorce, to have one parent say like, don't love your, we're getting divorced, I'm the good one, you have to hate your dad because you can't trust your dad. So she's trying to create this division, and by saying that, BTS fans are all for just supporting BTS but not the parent company and not HYBE. So the pictures of this whole wreath demonstration had a watermark of the Twitter account that it came from, and they were very clear about like, we're doing this, and this is something that we want to do on behalf of BTS Army. Now, the timeline, I know BTS Army can be extremely fast acting, get behind somebody and make things happen, but this seemed really super fast and super sus. So let's roll back. It hasn't been that long ago. Thursday, April 25th was the diarrhea press conference that Min Hee-jin did. Was crying and everything like that. Then on Saturday and Sunday, April 27th and 28th, those were the first articles on the BTS chart manipulation, something that everybody forgot about that got resolved in the past, and it was from 2017. Like, who drags that up in 2017 all of a sudden? Unless it was, part of Min Hee-jin's campaign where she felt like, oh, yeah, actually, maybe HYBE could be a little bit vulnerable here, so she's gonna attack the company that she does not want to, that she refuses now to leave. Even though she's like she hates them, and now she's trying to rude guest. And so that was over the weekend. Then suddenly on Monday, remember on Monday, that's also when HYBE was like, we need a board meeting and we need to fire you. And then she's like, no, we're not doing it. You have to go to the judge and, force a special board meeting. I'm not doing it. Okay, well, what else happened on Monday? Okay, see if all of this can, realistically happen in one day, even in the BTS fandom. So on Monday, April 29th, a Twitter account was made, just new, brand new, and said, it was going to raise money to put up these funeral wreaths in front of HYBE, because it's we're BTS fans and we want to make sure that BTS is protected. Now, then right away they posted some really shady, weird pictures, to prove that they were actually a BTS fan. That they had some albums. They had, it could have just been Min Hee-jin's extra storage closet, some albums and a membership card. What does that really prove? Even if it proves that you are one person out of the probably hundreds of thousands of BTS fans who registered, how does that even give you then you have the audacity to say that you're going to speak on behalf of the entire BTS fandom in Korea? So they're trying to create it was a little bit too deliberate to try to create a paper trail of legitimacy that looks like, it's sort of like somebody who is printing $100 bills saying okay, well, this is the proof that these $100 bills that I'm printing in my garage are real. It was really weird. And then so they're trying to say that, the proof of being ARMY. Okay, well, yes, on the same day, they suddenly said they raised $12,000 already. They were trying to raise about $2,000 or $3,000 for the wreaths, and they said whoa, immediately the response has been so great. Now, I would understand if this was a BTS fan account that was extremely well known, popular, something where if you just post this immediately afterwards, you can get a lot of response. But this is literally a brand new Twitter account, and even if they tweeted and even if they really tried really hard to say send this to all your friends and stuff, or even put it on message boards, how much of a would people part with $12,000? They said that at the end of it, they said, about 500 people participated, and they raised up to almost $25,000. So the math on that is a little bit odd. I think that's kind of a lot. That would be about $50 per person. Does somebody just throw $50 that quickly to somebody who you don't really know, and you don't even know if they're really legitimately the BTS Army group? Now, so that's the question that I have, because the research that I've done so far is that the official fan group is run out of Weverse, and that's where you get your membership cards, and Weverse is owned by HYBE. So Weverse would not send hateful funeral wreaths to HYBE, to their own parent company, although Ador would. So, okay, well, so that would be the official, so if there was supposed to be some official statement from the BTS fan club, that would be, I think, out of Weverse. That would be legitimate. They would have definitely the right to speak on behalf of BTS Army. Now, I'm sure there's some sort of associations and clubs, throughout the world, but I think this should be a test point of a case where we should really question how should the media then vet who actually is legitimately allowed to speak on behalf of the entire BTS Army. They could have in their article said that this group, one little group of BTS Army fans, so-called, did the trucks and did the funeral wreaths, but they said like Korean BTS Army, as if it was like the whole thing. So if I wanted to just, go out and put out a newspaper ad in like the Los Angeles Times saying like the residents of Los Angeles, believe in such and such, what would give me the right to say that and publish that and then have the audacity to say like I do have the right because here I prove that I live here in Los Angeles? That makes like no sense whatsoever, but the media was just like, fine, we'll just pick up on that. All right, we're still on the first day that he open up the Twitter account. So Twitter account said that they were going to raise money for the funeral wreaths. They posted some really weird evidence that they're truly Army. They raised $12,000, but on the same day they also had the schedule, location, the number of wreaths, and a plan to hire 7 security guards. And then they had this whole Google form thing, which looks very similar to the Google form thing that the bunnies are using for the trucks. We'll get to that later. That's not it. Then on the first day of this Twitter account being opened where they raised already like way too much money, they said, oh, we have leftover money now. Oh, we have an idea. Can somebody help us out with our idea to put in full page newspaper ads? Suddenly you have this idea. Okay. And then, we're not even done with the first day. And then suddenly on the first day, they already had the application ready to the Yongsan police station to apply for this permit so that they could protect the wreaths from being torn down by HYBE. All on the first day. From an unknown, unverified, rando Twitter account that claims to be BTS Army, even if they are. Why would that one person be able to speak on behalf of the entire BTS Army in Korea? Let's move on to the next day, Tuesday, April 30th. The text on the wreaths are already finalized, like the rough draft. And there's a couple more edits, but they've already had all the messages mapped out. And supposedly, like when you signed up to donate some money, you can vote on which message you want to finally make it onto the wreaths, but they had like 30 of them. And I say 30 because already on Tuesday, they found out from the Yongsan police station, they got confirmation and approval that their wreaths would be protected, but they would only be able to have 30 instead of 40. So already they made a contingency plan. And then they also got confirmation that, these wreaths can't stay up overnight. It's only during business hours. So they already decided, okay, well, we're going to throw them away every day and have fresh ones delivered. So we're going to have 5 days, 30 each day, so 150 total. So they were really trying to establish also like a lot of legitimacy by making sure like, this is where we're spending the money, this is how much it costs, and here are the receipts for that. As if that really proves the legitimacy. Ugh. And especially when probably there was only like a couple of donors who actually did it. Where are the receipts for that? They only said, about 500 people like donated, but where are the receipts for all the people who supposedly donated? Show us that. All right, so then let's go to the third day, May 1st. This is Wednesday, right? They started on Monday. We're already at Wednesday. They already have the contracts for the full page ads confirmed. They had an idea the night before. Oh yeah, we have some like leftover money, or like they worked on it the day before, and then they already have the contracts signed and confirmed with 중앙일보 and 매일경제, so an MK, which is like an economic newspaper, but then they're also they're all both very good newspapers, but also a little bit shady for like just honey, that ad money is real dry. Of course they'd be like, okay, we'll take it. So it costs about like $10,000 for one and $7,000 for the other. Yeah, because they, like I said, they raised 12,000, but suddenly they got up to more like 20,000, like in a couple of days, 20,000, 25,000, suddenly all this money is there. So then they got the confirmation for that, and then they also like finished their consultations with lawyers already. You know how they're just like, oh, does anybody like know a lawyer who we can contact, like maybe get some advice to make sure that HYBE doesn't like tear down our stuff and like, you know, take legal action against our advertisement. So okay, that's already done on Wednesday. Okay, Thursday, May 2nd, they got the final draft of the newspaper ad already, and they got confirmation that it's just gonna run the next day on Friday. So they just had this idea on like Monday night, and then already on Friday, like this full page ad is going out, totally funded in 2 newspapers. They finalized the hashtag campaign, and then the weird thing, they sent out this statement to everybody saying, don't talk to the media. Like, we have to make sure that our message is not muddled. So we're only going to give the interviews to speak on behalf of BTS Korean Army. I'm like, excuse me, no. First of all, you're not even like some elected representative. We don't even know if that membership card is valid. Like, we don't know who you are, and then you're telling other BTS Korean Army to shut their mouths and only let them speak. It makes that was really suspicious. Then they ordered extra newspapers already to hand out at the demonstration, and then they actually spoke because, you know, I'm not the only one who was suspicious. Apparently right away people were suspicious and were like, you know, typing online being like, well, we don't really know the messages because they like tore them down. But he said like, oh, you know, people are questioning them and, you know, reporting the Twitter account, blocking, you know, them, and they're saying like, please don't do that, and here's an alternative X account just in case this one gets shut down. So already they know they're kind of sus. They know that they're sus because they're not real. Okay, and then at this time, the New Jeans, a different Twitter account, supposedly by a New Jeans bunny fan, starts the same looking fundraising campaign using Google Forms. I don't think that's a very common thing, especially in Korea where it's very much tilted towards Naver products, cacao products. So yeah, and then okay, so that's just Thursday. All right, Friday. This is when the wreaths were installed in front of HYBE. The newspaper ads were published that morning. 7 security guards were present. And however, they ordered about 80 copies of this newspaper. And they also sent out on this day, oh, please come by, like begging people to come by to pick up a copy of one of the 60 remaining newspapers. They only ordered 80. So it seems like a very low turnout for a campaign that got funded so quickly, that got picked up so quickly, that apparently like over 500 people gave their money to. I know like not everybody wants to show up when you give money, but that seems a little bit sus. Like, you know, if it was that quick, I would expect people to show up there and, you know, also take copies of the newspaper as like mementos. I thought when they said, oh, we're going to order 80 newspapers, I'm like, oh, that's going to be way too little because there's going to be people who didn't contribute to your campaign who want to come and also support if it was real. And so they were begging people to come. So what, like only 20 people, maybe fewer than 20 people, because they said that they gave copies of the newspaper to reporters that showed up. Now, of course, these reporters who showed up, they start running articles saying like Korean Army staged this whole wreath campaign saying like protect the BTS artists. Yes, you should protect the BTS artists, but that's not the point of this whole thing. And then also the full page ads, and then eventually they added some trucks as well. So Saturday they did more wreathing. The articles are spreading in the mainstream media. Sunday they did more wreathing, and then Monday they did more wreathing. And Monday, May 6th, funny enough, you know, just like a week after all of this just got started, the New Jeans bunnies said they raised more than enough money for their trucks. Wow, like a great response. And then the wreath dude also uploads some more weird pictures trying to prove he's real, because apparently he was Oh, actually, I forgot to say, like, back on Friday, he posted again saying that they're really pissed off that people are bad mouthing him, like questioning him, like doubting him. But the media, out of all the people, the media didn't doubt him for 1 second. They just gobbled it up. So then that was Monday, and then Tuesday was the last day for the wreaths, and then he uploads the receipts for the security guards, and like, oh yeah, we're legit, like, And then New Jeans bunnies on May 7th, Tuesday, finalized the details of their campaign, and then Wednesday, May 8th, the trucks arrive with the weird messages that supposedly are from the New Jeans bunnies, saying that HYBE should protect New Jeans. And the main message, of course, again, is saying that they support New Jeans, not HYBE. So what these campaigns are really doing, if you believe that, okay, on the one hand, if you really do believe that they're talking about protecting the artists, then you can just take it at face value. If you are noticing that the messages are really kind of like strategic hate things that are attacking the HYBE company itself, and also creating this emotional rift between the fans and HYBE, then you can kind of see this for what it is. So if you want to check out the whole Twitter thread, I will include it in the description, just the Twitter link to the account, because they documented the whole thing, and then also the New Jeans one, and see how the Google Form strategy is extremely similar, and how like plastic cards that have his name kind of blurred out anyway, whether you really buy that as legitimate. And even if he is like a legitimate person who paid for membership, why does this person get to then represent the entire country of South Korean BTS Army? Why did nobody from the mainstream media even ask that question either? So do you think this is really a product of BTS Army Korea? That somebody who starts a Twitter account and says they're from some random fan site that I have no idea what it is, it looks like more like a Wikipedia, starts a fundraising campaign in one day, raises like $12,000, and then in a couple days raises like $25,000, has this random sort of idea, and then suddenly like boom, 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 lawyers are involved, the police department registration is involved, the wreaths are ordered, security guards are ordered, and then the full page ad shows up, the contracts are already done in record time, even for somebody who is just very driven and very efficient. This is supposed to be a group effort by BTS Army Korea, where, this kind of thing usually takes a little bit more time and has more consensus, and especially, if people are contributing money, that it usually doesn't happen like this fast and coordinated. And I'm really upset with a lot of the media for taking the money, first of all, and saying that, giving it legitimacy with this full page newspaper ad saying that it is, representing BTS Korea, because I think real BTS Korea would word it completely different. And if you do look at the text, that's kind of the creepy text that I think we'll get into another video, but that's kind of like the creepy paid demonstration type of like font and coloring, if you get my drift. And then have all of this happen so quickly, and then right on after the last day of the BTS wreaths, boom, it's the bunnies with a very similar font, similar colors, similar mood, similar negativity. So check it out, guys. Put your comments below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.